Hi friends, it's Joan at 10 Pentacles Tarot, and I'm here with a 2 for You Matt Fraser book review. Now, if you're not familiar with Matt Fraser, let me tell you what it says. It says Matt Fraser is America's top psychic medium and star of the hit E! television series, Meet the Frasers. Matt's uncanny abilities and accuracy have allowed him to reach millions worldwide, from A-list celebrities and influencers to everyday people looking to get in touch with those they have lost. The best-selling author of When Heaven Calls, which we're going to talk about in a sec, Matt has caught the attention of major media outlets including the New York Times, People, NBC, Fox, CBS, ABC, CBS Radio, and many more. He has also been a guest on popular television shows such as Botched, The Doctors, and The Kelly Clarkson Show. All right, so let's look at the first book the first book by him first. So this is Matt Fraser, When Heaven Calls, Life Lessons from America's Top Psychic Medium. And the back says, heaven has amazing ways of reaching you. The smallest of signs can communicate the biggest messages. So don't just pass them off as coincidence. The more open you are to signs, the more your loved ones will use them to communicate with you. Now, this is a hardback book, and in the U.S., it's $26. In Canada, $35. I am not aware of a paperback version of this yet, but if you're interested in this book, there might be a paperback version by now, because this one was published in 2020, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, 2020. By Gallery Books, an imprint of Simon Schuster Incorporated. And I'll include all the publisher information in the description box. So it says, America's top psychic medium and newest reality TV star reflects on his life of speaking to spirit and the lessons he's learned along the way from both the living and the dead. People who are not in the habit of talking with the dead have a hard time imagining what Matt Fraser's life is like. Based on the questions he gets, they seem to think he spends most of his time sitting cross-legged in a trance, maybe hovering a few inches off the ground, leaving his physical body behind as he journeys across the veil to the spirit realm. But it's not like that at all. The real Matt Fraser is just an ordinary 28-year-old guy who happens to talk to dead people. Born into a psychic family, Matt carries on the legacy passed down from his late grandmother Mary by connecting people to their dearly departed loved ones and delivering messages from the other side. His sold-out live group readings, television appearances, and popular private readings have allowed him to bring hope and healing to fans from around the world. Now, in When Heaven Calls, Matt opens up about his life as a psychic medium, including how he discovered his spiritual gift, what it's like to connect with souls on the other side, what communicating with the dead has taught him about embracing life, and how readers can tap into their own intuitive awareness to manifest their dreams, goals, and desires. Now, I've read this book. I thought it was really great. I couldn't wait until the second one came out, and that one was good as well. So it talks about, really about his life, how things were when he was a child, and you know, even how he met his wife, his girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, who is his wife now, and they've had a little baby in the last year too. He's very adorable. So let's look at the titles of the chapters. So we have Heaven Calls, The Early Years, or Doesn't Everyone See Ghosts? High School Hell. A lot of people can relate to that. Helping and Healing. You're a Wizard, Harry. Breaking the News to Dad. Skeptics, Non-Believers, and Negative Nancys. Ouija boards, psychic protection, positivity, and hope. The Game of Telephone. Soulmates. Heaven, transitions, and the afterlife. Loose ends and unfinished business. Lights, camera, spirit. And Ask the Medium, questions about life, death, and the afterlife. So this is really interesting. It's about Matt's younger days, about you know, his life as a child and his life in high school. There's lots of pictures of his life. I always like to see what people look like, and you know, and then he met his Alexa, his girlfriend, and then They got married. There they are. Cute couple. And there we are. So that is Matt Fraser, When Heaven Calls, Life Lessons from America's Top Psychic Medium. Now his second book, which came out last year in 2022, is called We Never Die. And he's kind of expanding on the first one, where it's not so much about him and his life, but it's more about questions that viewers and you might have. So, again, it says Matt Fraser, We Never Die, Secrets of the Afterlife. Matt is able to turn grieving tears into tears of joy. This book was like my own private reading. And that quote is from Jenny McCarthy. So, Gloria Estefan wrote, Matt Fraser inspires us with his comforting certainty that we never die. Whatever your beliefs, you will feel better after reading this book. That's, again, Gloria Estefan, international superstar. And then Matt is healing the world. He's helping us access clarity and closure from the other side. Karamo Brown, star of the Netflix original series Queer Eye. All right, so here we go. It says, again, this is $27.99 in the U.S., $36.99 in Canada. The price went up from the last book. Oh, heck, prices on everything have gone up, haven't they? And then this was, again, 2022. So, it says, from America's top psychic medium and the author of When Heaven Calls comes a new book that unveils the secrets of the afterlife, the nature of heaven, and why we truly never die. Psychic medium Matt Fraser is back to answer the #1 question folks ask him, what happens after death? Although we might expect a complicated reply, it's actually pretty simple. We never die. Drawing from thousands of conversations with Spirit, Matt will pull back the curtain on life's hidden revelations, like what transpires when we cross over, the beautiful realities of heaven and eternal life, the guardian angels who keep us safe on earth, including our pets who have passed, the role of dreams and how souls appear to the living, love, romance, and soulmates beyond life, ghosts, hauntings, negative souls, energy vampires, and psychic protection, destiny, free will and second chances, regrets, amends, and forgiveness from heaven, figuring out your gifts and purpose, karma, kindness, and living in the divine flow, how to recognize the signs and messages our loved ones send us from heaven. And those are many of the things he talks about. So he talks about Psychic Ability 101, The Truth About Heaven. These are the chapter titles: Angel Signs and Spirit Visitations, Crossing Over, Memories and Milestones, Ask the Medium, Love and Relationships, I'm Not Afraid of Ghosts, Hauntings, Bad Deeds and Negative Souls, Heal, Manifest, and Transform Your Life. A few last thoughts about karma, divine guidance, energy, and the universe. So again, this is an expansion of his first book. If you are interested in mediumship, if anyone has told you you have mediumship abilities, there is, just stuff that you, like this, are Ouija boards bad? Let's see. Or why are Ouija boards bad? It says, in case you're interested, he says, remember when I said earlier that evil spirits won't bother you if you don't go looking for them? Well, Ouija boards are the definition of looking for trouble. My mom and my grandma have always told me to avoid these at all costs. As we discussed, there are both good and bad spirits. People go to Ouija boards to connect with spirit, but using one opens up a portal to invite any spirit into your space, good or bad. It's like protecting your house. In the same way you wouldn't go to bed with your doors unlocked, you don't want to leave your space open to just any spirits. You want to have complete control over whom you talk to. All right, so let me just go on a little further because this is super interesting. Before I was practicing, I once had a coworker in Boston who was so freaked out because her daughter had been playing with a Ouija board with friends. The girl hadn't touched the board herself, but was in the room when it was being used. Even though she tried to steer clear, there were messages on the board that were directed at her. She told her mom and was completely freaked out. She had begged her friends to stop, but they didn't listen. She asked her mom to ask me because she was afraid she had carried something home. It turned out she was safe. There had been a negative soul trying to reach out to her. Because she kept rejecting it, she was able to walk away without harm. But that was a very close encounter. She didn't realize how lucky she was. Had she engaged with it, she could have allowed that spirit into her home. All right, so he goes on more about Ouija boards. And here's a section, is there such thing as hell? He says, the good news is that I've never done a reading where the soul was in hell. But I have done readings, and it's rare, when the person is unreachable. That makes me wonder if they're in a different place. I've talked to Spirit about this, and they have shown me that there are not two actual worlds like we see, in movies or read about in books. But there are souls who have made the amends necessary and moved on, and some are still working things out. Until they have successfully transitioned, I can't connect with them. All right, so very interesting. And it goes on. And so, again, Matt Fraser, 2 books. When Heaven Calls, published in 2020, and We Never Die, Secrets of the Afterlife, published in 2022. If you're interested in mediumship, I highly recommend both of these books. I am super interested in it, and I found these books fascinating. So, that was the video. If you enjoyed this book review, please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. It's completely free for you, and it helps me out a whole lot. I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is where you are, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.